My title for today's devotion is Challenging Instructions to Follow. And this comes from Mark chapter 6, verses 1 through 13, which you can read on your own. And this is where Jesus is now going to send out, he's going to send out the 12, two by two, and he gives them authority. There's that word again that we heard yesterday. It's here in Mark 6, verse 7. And here are verses from 8 and 9. He ordered them to take nothing for their journey except a staff, no bread, no bag, no money in their belts, but to wear sandals and not to put on 2 tunics. Now I can tell you, I just got back from a trip, and I can't imagine going on a trip, right, and taking no money, no bag, no food, no change of clothes. You know, Jill and I went on a trip and we brought all of those things. We made sure we had money, we made sure we had extra clothes, we brought food with us even though we knew there would be food where we were going. Right, so what is Jesus doing here? Why is he sending out the apostles 2 by 2 with such austere instructions? I mean, not even 2 tunics. Well, I think you can probably guess the reason. And this is to teach them to trust God and to teach them to trust God to provide for their needs. And it's also a reflection of very, very early on the importance of hospitality to the Christian faith, that we are to welcome those who are messengers of the gospel, who are journeying on pilgrimages, for example. On our trip, Jill and I and our friends, we were in Norway, and one of the things that we did was we walked the final 5.5 miles to Nidaros Cathedral, which is in Trondheim in Norway. It's the northernmost medieval Gothic cathedral in all of Europe. Beautiful, dark gray stone building. And pilgrims would walk all the way from the mainland of Europe, from places like Germany, hundreds of miles, taking weeks or even longer, months to make that pilgrimage. And there's one spot as you are entering, coming over the hill into Trondheim, and it's called the Hill of Joy, where the pilgrims would have for the first time seen the cathedral. That was their desired destination. But all along that kind of pilgrim journey, pilgrims would have relied at different times upon the hospitality and the kindness of strangers who respected their journey. And so here in Mark, Jesus is trying to teach the disciples that importance of trusting and depending upon God to meet our needs. We all have far, far more in our own homes, however modest, than the disciples had in going out to represent Jesus. But all of us need to learn to trust God and depend upon one another and the hospitality and care of others a little bit more, as well as being hospitable and helping to be instruments of God's provision for others.